Francis' body has been transferred to St. Peter's Basilica, where it is lying in state ahead of his funeral on Saturday.
So let's get the latest from the Vatican City with GB News presenter Ellie Costello, who is there this morning. Ellie, what is the atmosphere like there this morning? I imagine the press of the world must have assembled there today.
Well, good morning to you, Bev and Andrew. And it was a display of solemn pageantry in the past few minutes in St. Peter's Basilica in St. Peter's Square. It's what the Roman Catholic Church does best, as Pope Francis was moved from his residence of the Casa Santa Marta apartments through the courtyards, through the squares, into St. Peter's Square, and finally up the stairs into St. Peter's Basilica, where he will now lie in state for the next 3 days. And there was a solemn silence in the square as tourists and pilgrims witnessed those last few movements of Pope Francis ahead of the funeral on Saturday. And the only sound that you could hear in St. Peter's Square was applause as that coffin, that very simple wooden coffin, disappeared through the doors of St. Peter's Basilica, that magnificent building behind me, over 500 years old. And the man that presided over the ceremony inside was a certain Cardinal Kevin Farrell. And what you might not know, Andrew and Bev, is that he is the acting head of the Catholic Church. He is the interim Pope, if you like. Whilst we're in this sede vacante period, it literally means this seat is vacant until the next Pope is selected. He is the man in charge. And just now, Andrew and Bev, whilst I was waiting to talk to you, the very one, the Cardinal Kevin Farrell, walked down this very street. We were trying to ask him questions, ask how he was feeling. He wasn't happy to speak to the press. He did seem to be in a rush, but obviously he's in charge of the day-to-day running of this church. And it must be an emotional time for him as well, because he has a very close friendship with the late Pope Francis. So in the next 5 minutes or so, in the next 8 minutes or so, those doors of St. Peter's Basilica will be open to tourists and pilgrims for the lying in state. And I've been speaking to people, young and old, people from all around the globe who have come to pay their last respects to Pope Francis. They will be able to do so from 11 o'clock here, 10 o'clock your time, and they will be able to do so for the next 3 days ahead of that funeral mass on Saturday that we now know is going to be attended by Prince William and Sir Keir Starmer. The emotion that people are feeling in this queue. I've been talking to younger people this morning who described the late Pope Francis as their grandfather. They're still in the state of shock. They can't believe that he's gone. And with 2 hours to go until he lies in state, and this is open to the public, you can see, can't you, behind me, young and old, people from all around the globe. There are people here from religious orders. There are tourist groups who just so happen to be here for Easter and the Jubilee year that the church is celebrating this year. They're just here to be a part of history. But it is going to be a hot day here in Rome, and these people are potentially queuing here now for hours in order to just have those few special moments with Pope Francis as he lies in state for the next 3 days in St. Peter's Basilica, one of the holiest buildings in the Catholic Church. And that is ahead of his funeral on Saturday morning, which we now have confirmation from Kensington Palace. Prince William will be in attendance on behalf of his father, King Charles. Sir Keir Starmer will be there too. Sir Keir Starmer is an atheist, which I think is a testament to the soft power that Pope Francis had to bring together these world leaders, these royal families. 1,700 world leaders and dignitaries will be attending the funeral on Saturday. Already 2 hours before those doors open, you can see behind me the number of tourists. Thousands of them are here to pay their final respects to Pope Francis as he lies in state. So let's speak to a few of them now who are here. It's Spanish students here on Erasmus. They're studying here in Rome. Very good morning to all of you. Why did you decide to join the queue and see the Pope lying in state?
We came here because he was a reference to us. and we want to say goodbye the last time because we feel really empty and sad for this.
This news makes us very, very sad. We were here to study, and there is a news that changed the world, so you have to come here to make the last goodbye.
You're all obviously young people. I believe you're all 20 years old. Pope Francis was very popular with young people, wasn't he? Why was that?
Yes, because he opened so many doors to minorities that were considered left out from the Christianism, and he was very close to what young people have interest on.
Yeah, so he opened a lot of doors about women, about us, people young.
I think a lot of people feel like they did have a personal relationship, like he was a grandfather figure.
Yes. It was very important to us to have a pope like him. Is the thing that we need now. Yes.
I can see that this is really emotional for all three of you. You are all Catholics, aren't you? If it's not too early to say, thinking about a successor and the next pope, would you like them to be similar to Pope Francis, or would you like something different?
We only hope for another Pope modern, because we think it's really important to Christianity and to us young people and other minorities that should have their rights too.
It's the thing that we need the world, Pope like Francis.
We hope that all the doors that have been opened don't close now, and we have to make more progresses.
Very well said. Thank you, all three of you, for stopping to chat to us this morning. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a very holy and blessed experience inside when you say your goodbyes to the late Holy Father. Thank you very much indeed. So there you are, people from all around the globe, Eamon and Nana, young and old, people who don't have any religion at all, just wanting to be here to pay their respects to the late Holy Father, whose body is now being transferred to St. Peter's Basilica. What we're about to witness in the next few moments is Kevin Farrell, Cardinal Farrell, who's actually an Irish-born American cardinal. He is going to be running the service inside St. Peter's Basilica. He'll be giving a sermon. He will be praying over the body of the late Pope Francis. And the two men had a very close friendship, so that will be a very emotional experience for him, I am sure. And then the doors will open to these people here behind us to file past and just have those few seconds with the Pope to say their final goodbyes. And that will be an opportunity that is open to them until Friday evening, ahead of the funeral on Saturday, which we now know will be attended by Prince William and Sir Keir Starmer.